All right, so a little disclaimer here. The R10 Garmin, supposed to be here. Have the email, supposed to be here today. As you get to the time, all of a sudden, delivery people, it's delayed. So I think it's gonna be here in the next day. It's gonna be a day late, but apologize. I know everybody's waiting to see how that works in the studio, things like that. So once we get it, we will put it out right away. We'll get testing it and seeing if it's a good investment for you for this winter or whenever you can get it. So sorry about that, but we're gonna talk a little bit more about your golf swing today, so let's get into that video. Hey everybody, Scott Oden coming at you. We're here, we're in the new studio, so we're gonna be working on getting better at our golf swings and working on some drills and things that are gonna help you improve. Some of these things are things I see regularly or hear regularly on the lesson tee. People are afraid of doing some things when in reality, they actually are moves that you wanna incorporate into your golf swing. So we're gonna be talking about those in this series. Make sure you check them out. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit about an idea today that, again, I see a lot when people come to see me on the lesson tee, and that is going to be sway. People are super afraid of swaying in their golf swing, and I think they've been conditioned to be afraid of that because there is a version, there's a form of sway that you do not want in your swing, but in the reality, when we're doing any type of athletic motion, there is going to be some level of working back and forth that we want, which helps us generate power, get more club face accuracy, and just be able to hit the ball more solid, which is going to lead to lower scores. So we're going to use a little technology today which helps kind of confirm what we actually see going on in our swing and what we want to feel versus what we see when we're looking at a video or some 3D, just measurements that people will have when they're going through things. So in my feet right now, I've actually got a couple of insoles that I use from Salted Golf. They're going to be just measuring my pressure as I go back and forth, and that's going to help me understand what is going on in my golf swing as I'm going through and making a swing. So let's talk a little bit first about what is sway. So sway, what happens is, in the traditional sense with sway is when people bring the club back, and what happens is your trail hip, so for me being a right-handed player, my right hip, it starts to bump outside of my knee, and then it tilts my body so where I'm getting this kind of reverse C type look. And what happens is when you do that, you're doing a couple of things. One, when you go and bump that hip out, your club is not going to get a lot of depth to it. It's going to just kind of lift up, and then when you go to hit the ball, you're going to have to undo that. And what happens is a lot of times we start falling away, we get early extension, we get a lot of really interesting things going on when we have that type of move. So what people started to do to try to battle that sway is they start working on trying to turn more. And I don't disagree that, hey, you need to have turn in your swing, but one of the things that we need to look at is when we're going back, what I see a lot of, and I've got my numbers right over here, so if you see me looking there, that's what I'm looking at, is when I see people turn, a lot of times they turn and all their pressure is on this lead foot. Now, that's going to create a lot of issues as well. Yeah, you're not swaying, you're turning back, but we're going to have a lot of problems as we go through to hit that golf ball because we're not going to be able to transfer our pressure through and generate any power. And what ends up happening a lot of times is we get a lot of the same effect because your body needs to kind of balance itself out, and it has to handle the speed of this club coming through. And quite frankly, it's just not balanced to be able to handle that. So what I like to see people do instead of that, I do like to see people turn on the way back, but what I want you to feel like you're doing instead is when you're going back, I want to feel like I'm turning into my trail leg, okay? So I'm turning, but I have this trail leg, for me again, my right leg, feels like it's the stopper. It's stopping my body from going back. So I'm moving, I'm seeing my pressure shift back as I go, but I'm not doing a sway, okay? And what that lets me do is it lets me load up on the backswing. So now I've got something to transfer and go through and be able to strike the golf ball with some power. So we want to make sure that there is some transfer of pressure. If I was going to throw a ball, I would not throw a ball with everything on my front side the entire time. I'm going to load up, step, and go. That's going to get me the most power and the most accuracy. So we want to copy some of those athletic principles through our swing in the golf game. So that's what we want to do as we're going through this. And if I'm able to pull this off, where I get loaded up into the trail side, now I can shift and then I can go and hit the ball. I've got a lot of power, I've got a lot of accuracy. I'm not feeling like I'm doing too much, but I can just tell that ball is hit with some meat on it, and that's going to really help us out as we're going through and trying to play better golf. All right, so a drill that you can do to feel what we're trying to feel. So this is my favorite drill here when we're trying to feel transfer and turn into that trail leg without letting it get outside of our knee. What we're looking to do is we're going to make a swing. We're going to make the back swing, and all I'm going to do is have my left foot, my lead foot, is going to step backwards onto the toe, okay? So I'm going to make that back swing, get onto my left toe, and what that does, the left toe is there just for balance. I'm going to feel a lot of load in that trail side, and I'm going to feel how this leg needs to be solid. I can't be like this and do this. I'm going to fall all over the place, right? So I have to get this trail leg solid and turn into it solidly, and that is going to let me load up and go. When I do this drill, it really helps me get loaded up on that trail side. We're going to see good pressure, things like that. That's going to really help us out. So that's a great drill to try when you're going to work on how you're going to transfer without swaying. So that is sway. A lot of people come to me and they are afraid. We start working on things in their swing and they're like, well, I feel like I'm swaying. It's like, no, you're moving and shifting your pressure, which is a good thing, but we just can't lose some of our body angles as we go through and do this. That's the difference between swaying and shifting our pressure. So if you're not shifting, if you're feeling like you're stuck on that lead side, which is very easy to do, I would suggest trying the drill that I suggested there in the video, and that's really going to help you get more power, accuracy, and you're going to feel a lot freer. You might feel like you're moving a lot, but you're going to feel freer throughout your golf swing, being able to generate some power with less effort. So that's what we're talking about, sway. We've got more coming up with hip turn, things like that, so make sure you don't miss out on those videos. Click that subscribe button down below, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.